Cool.
Okay.
Who's behind me?
Right.
Wait to the camera.
Got it. I haven't looked into it that much to figure out if it's something I would want. He's got a couple people behind us. Do you have one or have you seen them? No, I just seen their little promo video. Yeah. I think it's over back there. Well, if you have, I'm gonna try it again. So what do you got on that pole?
GoPro. Camera.
Cool. No, I've got it.
I haven't. I'm still dialing it. I use it when I scuba dive. Yeah.
I mean, is it really lightweight?
Yeah.
Otherwise, oh yeah, you hardly notice it's there.
I've never put it on a pole before. And a whole bunch of different mounts, but I keep learning different things. I wear it on a dive mask. The last time, most of it was down. Just you can't aim with it when it's on your head.
Right.
Banana bread, but I thought it was
Let's do about 5 more minutes. So if you've got things that you've been putting off, like sunscreen or using the restroom or anything like that, now's a good time to take care of them. If you're all good, we can kind of continue. Yeah, we'll do it later. Definitely sunscreen and more rather than less. Especially on your nose, under your nose. You have a little bit of chapstick, stick out on the tip of your nose to prevent the sweat from washing it all off. Huh. Tip for the day.
many sun protection.
Say hello, Don. The Florida team. Break one.
Yeah, and so that.
So when do you officially start back at school? 24th of August? Whoa. Ouch.
Here's Mount St. Helen.
Now less than a month away. Yeah.
And off to the left is Mount St. Adams.
I did like being on the quarter system because we started like end of September. We also got out like June 10th.
Say hello, Todd. Todd. Telling you, his kid brother. Ryder, this is you. The gestures and everything 20 years ago, dude.
Other little thing I'd add, if your poles aren't real short, don't hesitate to slide your hands down the pole shafts so that your hands don't end up like this. You know, so you're still a comfortable position for taking your hands out of the straps and kind of making them constantly adjustable. Sound good, guys? If you guys feel your foot slide out of a footstep, it's most likely that nice, moving well. I like it. Yeah.
Way to go, Ian.
Onward, upward.
Here's a shout out to Salt Hub.
Onward, upward, That's a good idea.
Yeah, make sure your toe's getting right to the end of that step.
Without getting spiked. Without getting spiked. We find probably 15 or 20 feet of the ice sheet in his sock.
This is freaking epic.
And then we needed to take all the weight out of everything out of his backpack, including water and his digital SLR camera. And Austin, who's on the couch now, is carrying his water, and this guy took a big old drink of water, handed the bottle back to Austin without screwing on the lid. And Austin poured 40, a little bit less than 40 ounces of water all over his backpack while he camped on the summit.
This guy made it to the summit?
This guy would not
talk about the rest steps here really quickly. So, because everyone can kind of see me, you don't necessarily stand up or anything, but this is probably one of the most important techniques that we're going to go over. I would argue this entire trip. It's really just really simple. It's just about walking efficiently and making sure that every step you're getting a slight amount of rest. And kind of really, if you just stand naturally on an uphill slope in the rest step state, your leg is straight, your downhill leg is straight, and you're not really putting much weight on that uphill leg. So really, all we're thinking about doing is a quick transition between walking off that back leg. So we already talked about kind of stuffing our feet into the snow. We'll continue to do that, kind of stuff them all the way into that boot track, engage the tread of the bottom of our boot to really stick so that we're not sliding and wasting energy. So as we're rest stepping, we don't want to think about it as a pace, because I can actually rest step reasonably fast. Or you can kind of do the Everest. Rest step, right? I mean, you would know better than I would again. So, but really just think about quickly transitioning from that locked leg right back into it. Things that we see commonly is kind of a flamingo step. Right? Or a lot of people that tend to kind of lean forward. You really want to be standing straight up, kind of just think about putting some weight on your heel and just big bar, like straight up from your heel all the way to your head so that you're really just locking it. It's a little bit harder on flatter surfaces, but definitely as we get into steeper terrain, you'll definitely feel the effects. So, yeah, really can't say much more than that. It's just kind of getting some practice, and as we get on a steeper slope here, the guys will kind of satellite around and kind of help you guys with that. You know, a lot of people are doing it naturally, coming up those steeper sections, and it's just sort of being able to make the mental transition to doing them on moderate slopes. So, yeah, that's good. Should we 2 minutes here? Back it up?
I missed one of your steps, John.
Okay, I know. Okay, you're on camera, go. Good rest up. Rest stop 3 hours and 3.4 miles. 3189 elevation gain. It's now 147. And we're at 8,500 feet, 8,490. Look at what I'm not seeing.
My goal is to start biking. It just doesn't do a whole lot of baseline. So that's 7 miles a day on the bike. I try to get out running and hiking a couple days a week on top of that. And I'm doing sort of a poor job of training for like a marathon right now. So once a week probably is not the best approach. But I'll go out once a week for like 20 miles.
Really nice. And descending the couch ice chute is descending the couch ice chute's an episode.
Yeah, it's not that fun. You ever come down the other way? A different way?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing
We'll
now.
see them tomorrow.
Yo, panorama.
Oh, I see. So they take the pen.
All the other trekking poles.
The weather looks good.
What's that?
All the trekking poles.
No, so they'll
The poles of Rainier.
Yeah. The creator intersection.
Yeah.
So you guys, I'll lead the next stretch into Camp Muir, and it's less than an hour. We'll get up there, and if you turn around, you can see sort of the big boxy structure with the white window frames. And we actually share that building with Rainier Mountaineering. So the first door we come to, it says guide service. That's actually not our door. That's RMI's door. And so we'll kind of walk behind it and along, and there's a side door to our side, which they're pretty much the same. I think ours is going to have more windows. And we go over there and you move into there. We'll leave all the sharp stuff. So.
They have picked up the pace, right?
What?
They have picked up the pace, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Where's the barn?
There's the barn. Roof on up at the side of the
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Go, Jay.
Keep pulling in, guys. Oh, nice. You're filming it. Sorry.
It's all right, no worries.
Nice job, guys. Well done, John.
All right.
Nicely done, everybody. What?
Little coma.
Yep. As she. You summited it this year, right? I did. I never asked you how that went. It's fantastic. Such a good trip. I want to do it every year. Really? Yeah, I want to do it next year. Let's do it next year together. So much fun.
Way to go, Mia.
Kind of cool, eh?
Nice job, man.
I want to ski it. Ski it? Cool. If I was going to do it personally. Oh, yeah. I already did it.
Two things, actually. Well, we're going to practice self-arresting, and we're going to practice a little bit of those steps that Ian covered with you. We're not in crampons, the snow's kind of hard. We're going to head up just right up there, so I'll head up, follow me up, but we're going to do a bit of a crossover step. Self-arrest. On these slopes, where's the ice at?
Uphill.
Big bucket step.
On your shoelace, your left side is hanging out.
That's it right there. So, I'll come down here so you can all see me. We're going to be doing basically the exact same thing that we were just doing, except we're going to build up a little bit of speed now. So, starting here, sit down on our butts, slide down 10-15 feet, and you're going to go ahead in control position. I recommend as soon as you start sliding, come in here so it's not, flipping around and speed. Arrest, kick those big buckets, get in control, come up in control. That sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, I'll demonstrate a bit.
Is the red light blinking?
No, you're good.
I
Wait,
want,
actually it is blinking.
I want it to be blinking.
See? You get pretty good speed pretty quick here, but we've got a nice safe run out. So it takes a while once your pick actually enters the snow to slow you down. That's why you kick those big bucket steps. So go ahead. Yell falling. Falling. There you go. Kick those steps. And then Mia, you kind of went towards the spike end. So you went all the way over. We're wanting to quick movement towards the pick. Yeah, so you're facing downhill.
You can go for another one if you want to try it out.
Yeah. Come on up.
You're welcome to climb up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do a big line of it.
Hey, Mia, maybe you can do another one right where you are, but let's let other people continue to go.
Yeah.
If you want to give another practice, next day, just do it right there.
So you're going to turn towards the head. Yeah.
There you go.
Falling.
Nice.
Much better.
I hope you don't fall
Cool.
sooner.
Remember, anytime you lose control like this, you're yelling falling. Big bucket. There you go. Come on, back up and around. Falling. Nice. Come on up. Falling! Nice. Good active kicking. Nice.
All right then. Falling!
There you go.
Clear.
Feel free to build up as much speed as you're comfortable with. A little bit lower down.
Do it
There.
like as soon as possible.
Nice. See how that feels in control?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falling.
Kick, kick, kick. Nice. All right. Your harness, hitting the snow, and then coming 45 degrees off the snow to Ian's harness. So, and you can also kind of think of it as like as a nice smiley kiss. As we're walking, this can kind of like bounce up and off the ground. And this way, I have enough reaction time to actually get in self-arrest. If he starts to fall, he's not going to go as far of a distance, and I'm not going to get shot with. Does that make sense? Yeah. Any questions on the distance between us? So, we also always want to be walking with the rope on the downhill side for the majority of the time. We're going to talk about instances when we would want to have the rope on the uphill side, but for the most part, always think of having the rope on the downhill side. Why might that be? So if I had the rope on the uphill side, and Ian takes a fall, and it's spinning me completely around, and I don't have as much control to get in self-arrest. Whereas, if he's uphill of me, and it's on the downhill side, he swings me over and I'm still kind of able to face the snow and not getting totally spun around. So, always think about having the rope on the downhill side. And we maintain that kind of through switchbacks by stepping over the rope, which I'll demonstrate in a second. So, Ian and I are walking along. This really gets into kind of what we were drilling you guys yesterday on the rest step and finding a good rhythm with the person in front of you. And we were going over that because from here on out, it's really important that we maintain that distance between us at an even keel throughout the entire trip. And the way we do that is Ian's going to get in the same sync as me with my rest step, so that interval is going to stay consistent the entire time. That make sense? So, now we're going to go to a switchback. Right here, the trail is going up to the right. So what I'm going to do is I want to keep this rope on the downhill side. I'm going to anticipate this turn, and in motion, step over it, switch hands with my ice axe, and start cruising uphill. Meanwhile, Ian's going to be walking at the exact same pace that we were walking at before, and I'm going to give him a little bit of a courtesy flick. The rope's out of his feet so he's not having to step over it. And as he gets to that turn, you'll kind of see where the rope lies.
You thought you were getting lucky by keeping your...
Pretty perfect.
So we're perfect, and then so I'm going to grab I'm in the middle of the rope and pretend somebody's tied in down below me. I'm going to step up. I'm going to grab the rope behind me, not the rope in front of me. Does that make sense? I'm not going to grab the line going to Blair. I'm going to grab this line.
He's going to step over it. So now, as he continues on, the rope's going to be on the downhill side. Any questions with that? So that was kind of the demonstration. We're going to go through switchbacks up here. Everyone's going to jump on a knot that we have down there. And we're going to...
Do you always want to have your hand on the rope?
No. No, so if Ian actually did have his hand on the rope, it kind of, or if I did, because Ian's out in front, it kind of just promotes bad habits. So if he's always out in front, what is this doing? If I drop this, then what? Well, that's a bad example. But if I'm up here and I'm holding the rope, it looks like it'd be a perfect interval, but then if I drop it, you can see all that slackness there, right? So as best you can, try and not hold onto the rope. The only instance where you do want to grab the rope and create a little bit of slack is when you are stepping over the rope.
Okay. Yep.
If it's tight, it's going to be too hard and it's going to be kind of a tripping hazard. Anything to add on that?
How does the person at the end of the rope step over the rope?
You don't need to. Good question. Trick question.
So, we are going to switch the orientation of the rope to the uphill side. It's when we encounter something called a running belay. So, I'm going to walk in. So we're anticipating, so this is a running belay. The idea behind it will become obvious once I start kind of talking about it. Essentially, your guide's going to come up to an anchor, and he's going to yell, "Anchor!" And that's a signal for the whole team to stop. And why do we want to stop?
So we don't create additional slack.
Exactly, because if Ian kept walking up towards me, it would generate all this slack. So that's another really important thing is whenever the person in front of you stops, you stop. Whenever the person in front of you goes, you go, and maintain that perfect interval the entire time. Really important. So I'm going to yell anchor. Whole rope team's going to stop. At this point, I'm going to step over the rope, and Ian can as well. I'm going to plunge my ice axe into the snow like this, or if it's harder packed, you can kind of drive that pick in. I'm going to take this carabiner and clip it on the line between me and Ian. So the thought process behind this is that if Ian were to fall, this is an anchor point for us. So if I couldn't catch a fall or something and I ended up falling as well, we have this piece of protection in between us to kind of as like a safeguard. That makes sense? And if I was on the other side of the rope here, I was on my downhill side, I would get that same spin motion where if I'm falling downhill, I'm not going to be in close to the snow. I'm going to have to do a full double twist. So for running blades, we always want to have the rope on the uphill side, and that'll be pretty clearly communicated to you by your guide. So, I section the uphill hand still, rope is on the uphill side as well. Cruising along. Anchor! And that's my signal. I'm going to stop. This is important. You see what Ian did right there? Want to talk through that?
Okay, so the carabiner was originally clipped like this to the rope in front of me, going to Blair. And I need to switch it to the rope behind me. And so I need to unclip the carabiner. Now we're wearing gloves, our dexterity is off. The simplest way to unclip the carabiner is to grab the rope, pass the rope over the gate of the carabiner. Like that. That ensures that your glove doesn't get caught in the carabiner, which turns out to be a huge time sink. Then when I'm clipping this carabiner, I just hold the rope next to the gate and flip the rope through the gate. Okay, we're not gonna wrap our arm around the sling 5 times and then put our hand inside the carabiner and then put the other hand across the gate. The simple use the rope to open and close it.
And if it's a locking carabiner, don't need to lock it. It's just going to take a lot more time to screw it and unscrew it, and at that point, the reason we have a picket in the snow for a belay is because this is more consequential terrain, and so spending more time in that terrain is not really what we're looking for. And so finally, the end person's going to come to the picket, and we're not going to walk, but he's going to say anchor, and then he's just going to completely unclip the carabiner. And if he wants you to take the carabiner, then that'll be communicated to you. Default is to just leave the carabiner for the next incoming crew. Any questions about running blades? All right, let's.
They look like they're coming at us, and we're not going to be able to walk
We're not
through
going to
it.
worry about it.
Then we'll look uphill and just
but
kind of make a last minute dodge.
Figured I would give
Seems
you
like
the heads up.
barrage of them, you're
That's
not
part
gonna
of
be able
my
to dodge them.
Heads up, no pun intended there, right?
heads up, no pun intended, and would
Protect your head.
just let you know.
That's the plan.
I just feel like
Now that
I
we've
ought to
talked
tell
about
people
problem.
of the potential hazards there.
Can you take a picture of our rope team?
Sure.
So, we're gonna go up to the top of the gap.
Crazy man, get in
We're
there.
gonna stop for 5 minutes, take a sip of water. From there, it's about 10 minutes.
Can you turn the flash on?